banger? Hell yeah.
Classes in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC guy, and Trade Fly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to Piper Academy. We've got a great show lined up for you today. We're going to be taking a look at the markets. Bitcoin currently dropping below $63,000. We got Ethereum fighting to hold $3,100 right now. Plus, we got a Forbes article saying these 20 blockchains are zombies. We're going to be taking a look and see if yours is on that list. And then also, Peter Brandt says Bitcoin top may be in. We're going to be looking at that article. We're going to have a lot of discussion, a lot of topic today, and a lot of pre-planning for how this week's going to go with the FOMC data, all that and more today on Piper Academy. Guys, let's get it. Classes in session. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Piper Academy. We come at you every Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, the markets, and everything that you probably should know, but you may not. So today, guys, OC running late. We're going to see if he makes it in or not, but it's okay. I've got my wingman, the other wingman, not Jenna X. It's the Trade Fly. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
What's good, dude? Everything's going all right. Everything's going all right. So back to the hotel living. You can see the lights there behind me. But excited to mix it up with you guys. Ready to get in the chat and do a little bit of TA. It's I don't know how pretty it's looking for Bitcoin, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it.
There's a little disruption going on there for sure, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the news right off the bat, because we got a lot of news to unpack today, and we're going to have a couple of conversations, you and I. So we're going to talk. We're going to talk. So let's go ahead and jump over here. First off, we got a lot of stuff going on this week, and I want to, touch on all of that, touch on this economic data and get that rolled into the plan. It looks like OC is dropping in, so we'll see if his camera loads in here in a second, then we'll jump over there and see him. Because, got to say good morning to the OC guy. I think he's trying to come in right now. I see his camera moving. Let's go ahead and jump into the news while we're waiting, guys. Looking here at the news. Fear and Greed Index sitting at 67 right now, guys. I do think we're going to see this pull down because this data is it's a lagging indicator. So I do think that we're going to see this pull down a little bit more, especially this week. We have a real potential for some market pullbacks with this FOMC data and the rate cuts, seeing if they're going to actually get rate pause or is Jerome Powell going to come out and speak after that on Wednesday? This is all Wednesday, by the way. Come out and have some really hawkish sentiment with that CPI, PPI, and all that PCE data that came out. That said that, look, things are more expensive now. So we're going to be taking a look at that. Looking at the crypto bubbles here on the daily, a lot of red sitting on there. Helium, HNT, is sitting up a little bit right now at about 16.9%. But for the most part, a lot of things are down. Looking at the liquidations here, folks, in the past 24 hours, 56,139 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $123.2 million. Largest liquidation was Ethereum again at 2.8 million on OKX. And so here's what we were talking about. We're actually just going to do a quick perusal here to look at these numbers, and then we'll go back and look at the week. But Wednesday, guys, right here, Fed interest rate decision. Right now, consensus and forecast is that it's going to stay static at 5.5%. Currently what it's at. That's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 12 my time here in the Mountain Range. But that Fed press conference afterwards at 12:30, which is going to be 2:30 on the East Coast. That is going to be where we really get the data that tells us Jerome Powell is very hawkish or he's very dovish. And so that will have a big play on the markets there. Let's jump over here just to see what the FOMC chances are what the CME group is looking at for 1 May. Yeah, guys, this is coming up this Wednesday. So 1st of May. It looks like 97.1% chance right now of no change, sitting at a 2.9% chance of easing. And I do think it's probably going to be no change with very, very hawkish discussion with Jerome Powell. So earnings for this week, guys, we got a couple of big ones here. One is going to be Amazon on Tuesday at market close. We're going to have that coming in. And then AMD and Super Microcomputer, those competitors out there for NVIDIA, they're going to have theirs also there. What else is on here that we need to show you? Yes, Apple, Coinbase, and Block. All three have their earnings coming in on Thursday after the market close. So be watching for those this week. Also, a lot of big earners this week coming in with that news. Let's jump back here. Check out the X marks the spot real fast because there were a couple of things in here. Yes, this week is going to be absolutely wild. Let's jump in here. This is X marks the spot. Looking here, guys, Kamisi letter that says this week is going to be absolutely wild. The Fed will react for the first time to rising PCE, PPI, and CPI inflation data, which I already told you. This includes Chair Powell's question and answer after the first 2-month increase in inflation. Meanwhile, over 20% of the S&P will be reporting earnings this week, including Apple, all before we get the April jobs report, which will come out on Friday. And along with all of this, we have geopolitical tensions continuing, and just about every major headwind is converging this week. So what are your conditions? Buckle up. That's the advice there from the Kabisi letter, and I absolutely agree with him. Let's jump over here and check out TrioCam because I got the OC guy in the house. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? I can't hear you. You're muted.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for that. So not much, just completely missing the start of the show. I don't know why my bearing just was another place today, but other than that, doing great. Thank you for the welcoming.
Yeah, we were wondering what happened to you. I was like, where's the OC guy? I was getting ready to leave out a trail so that you could follow the scent because I have this. I don't know if you saw this in Discord, but check this out. I found Mexican spaghetti candy. It's called salsagetti Schwinkles.
Yes.
Yes, you know about this? You know this candy, OC?
Oh, yes, I love them.
That is Mexican spaghetti candy, salsagetti. I found this at Sam's Club. I just had to share it with you. So, that's
the official candy of the show there.
It is. Let's go jump into the Bitcoin chart real fast, and I'm going to lay out where we are right now on Bitcoin, and then I'm going to talk about an article because Peter Brandt says that we've already got a top in. We're going to see what he says in this article, and then also we're going to be taking a look at that doomsday dead zombie blockchain list that was put out by Forbes, talking about 20 cryptos that are dead blockchains and what categorizes a blockchain to be a zombie blockchain. So we're going to be looking at all of that. So let's jump into the chart here. And shout out to everybody that's joining us this morning. Good morning to everyone, if I haven't told you that yet. Tradefly and OC, haven't had a chance to say anything to anyone. I got so spun up on all of this data. Tradefly, do you want to say anything to our audience right now?
I mean, I got to say a little what's up, but hey, let's go ahead and go over to the chat. We'll say what's up to everyone in the chat right now. So let's go ahead and run down the list. We got Jay, Crux Crypto AI, Alexander G, Best Mod in the house. How you doing? Crypto Trades, C90 for the win. Let's see, Andy Lee, how you doing? Been seeing you more and more lately. Trade Intuition, Arson246, he's always here. Let's see, Eric, my man, walling with his own chart. I'm sure we'll see that later. Blackie Chan, 577, Kyle Fields, and just looking at your comment there, he said it won't list, y'all, in my live listings or whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know how to fix that. Maybe turn the notification bell on. That might help.
Share it with a friend and boost the algorithm.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I mean, maybe the notification bell might help. Ninja Glock, what's up, bro? Let's scroll. And Mark Dutch, how you doing, my man? And did I say Trade Intuition? Joe and Hart.
Joe in the house. There you go. Yeah, just so you're tracking, ZTS Rhythm is not in the house today. No, he's not here. So, nope, he's out doing fiat mining right now. So, not in the house today.
Attaboy.
Yeah. Yeah, let's jump over to this chart though. Let's talk about Bitcoin. OC, we'll bring it back for you to bring up anything you want to bring up about your weekend. I'm sure you had a very long weekend, knowing you. I knew it. See? All right, let's jump in here and check out Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin's still trading in this channel that we've been pointing out here on the show for a couple of weeks now. Right now, though, guys, we are sitting right here above the $61,840 range. You see this purple line running across the screen. What is that? That is going to be the value area low. We had a perfect rejection up here on that point of control. And when that happened, we were talking and I discussed with you guys that usually when we reject off a point of control, we do head back to that value area low. So if anyone played that play, congrats on you. It was there. It was clear as day with the fixed range volume profile. That's how those work. Let's go ahead and check and see what we're seeing on the fibs right now. If there's anything that is relevant there. We did get almost a perfect rejection also on that 786 there, aligning with that point of control. Right now, if we were to come down and test the bottom of this channel, this falling channel that we have here, that would put us right in line right now with the golden pocket at $59,000. I do still think that $56,000 is in play. I've been saying this for several weeks right now since we started getting those rejections off the top levels there. That 56K is back in play. Where at? Well, it's over here on the Wallen chart. And we are continuing to move down towards that range, that 55,971. That's why I just said 60,000. It's coming in right here at the top of our phase 3 box. And when we lost the golden pocket here on this channel, I called that would likely be the target that we would be heading towards, dropping right down there. 56K still in play. Keep hearing a lot of people talk about 52K. That would be this range right here of support on the weekly. Move this over to the 4-week and you'll see that there was quite a bit of action right there in that $50,000 to $52,000 range right there. So, but overall, yeah, I'm looking at 56K first. Obviously, it comes before 52 on the fall side, but I'm also thinking that that 56K will hold. We'll have to see when we get there. Nothing in this is 100%. So let's go and check out your heat map. You got your heat map up there, TradeFly? Because if you do, we'll jump over to that, and then we'll get into that article. All right, let's jump over there.
All right, let's take a look at it on the daily first. So you can see there is a little hotspot, and that I would say is the closer of the two hotspots right now. And we have a trend for me that kind of looks down and right. I would say this is the more likely of the two areas, which is about 61.3. So let's come over here and look at the chart real quick. I won't do much breakdown here, but I do believe that we are headed towards this area of support. Right here, I have a little range. You can see by the green at about 60,900, which would clear out that liquidity that's sitting at about 61.3. So one of the things that I am a little concerned about, Piper just talked about that volume area low. Well, it looks like we retested it a couple times because we broke through, and now we're starting to retest it. So for me, bias would still be to the downside and looking to chase that liquidity.
Awesome. So that is OC. Do you got anything you want to show on your chart real fast before we jump into this article? Are you seeing anything on Bitcoin different than what we're seeing, or do you have another narrative?
Not really. Just getting ready to update my head and shoulder lines. Just basically move this one back to follow this next upcoming movements, and we are breaking just the neckline. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. You guys already have pointed out area value high and low. And yeah, I mean, I still also look, and I'm in line with you in holding for a 52 or 53K area still in play as a possibility as we keep moving forward. But yeah, other than that, let's just jump into the news.
All right, let's do it. Jumping over here, guys, to the news. You got this article here that I was reading this morning. I wanted to bring it up because I thought it was pretty interesting. Let's bring it into play here. Legendary trader predicts when Bitcoin bull run will end. Jumping down here into the article, recent analysis, veteran trader Peter Brandt delved into price behavior of Bitcoin, suggesting that the cryptocurrency might have reached its peak for the current cycle already. According to Peter Brandt, Bitcoin is exhibiting signs of exponential decay, indicating a weakening in the momentum of its bull market cycles over the years. Does history make a case that Bitcoin is topped? It's called exponential decay, and it describes Bitcoin. Brandt wrote, the fact is that the bull market cycles in Bitcoin, they keep getting lower and lower every single cycle. So that thrust of, that 1600% and then 800%, whatever, so on and so forth, it just kind of decays down. And that's what he's referring to there. I don't like the exponential decay occurring on Bitcoin, is what he said. Bitcoin is one of my personal largest investment positions. Brandt provided a historical breakdown of the bull cycles, noting a consistent decrease in the magnitude of gains. So 2009 to 2011, staggering 3,191x. Then we go to the next cycle, 2011-2013, reduced down to a 572x. And then 2015 to 2017 was 122x. Most recently, 2018 to 2021 was a 22x. So he said it reached its cycle peak with a probability of 25%. He said 25% chance it has topped out for this cycle. He extrapolated that the current cycle, which began on November 21st of 2022, would likely see an approximate 4.5x gain from its low of 15,473, predicting a potential high near $72,723. Notably, this peak has already been met at $73,835. So that was on March 14th. He underscores this observation: the magnitude of each bull cycle has been roughly 20% of its predecessor. So at about an 80% reduction in how much gains it makes each cycle. In this analysis, he does not shy away from addressing the implications of Bitcoin halving events, which have historically been catalysts for substantial price increases there. Despite this, he emphasized the undeniable presence of the decay pattern. But for now, we need to deal with the fact of exponential decay. It has happened. It is real. You may not want to believe it, but I place a 25% chance that Bitcoin has already topped this cycle. Let's talk about this, because that's a disheartening statement to be made by someone who's been in crypto as long as Peter Brandt has. The guy is definitely not an anti-Bitcoin person. What do you think of this? We'll go with the OC first, and then we'll jump over to TradeFly. OC, what are your thoughts on this? Has Bitcoin topped out this cycle based on exponential decay? Like the numbers are there. We always talk about history repeats, right? Or at least rhymes. This would be a historical rhyme of exponential decay on Bitcoin. So what do you think? Has Bitcoin topped?
No, absolutely not. Well, that's what I'm thinking. But I mean, let me also comment that this guy is just going like, hey, just like me at the end of the classes, right? It's like, hey, you know what? I mean, it absolutely have done this, and I'm certain just 20%. Right, 20% certainty. So I mean, he's going so bearish, but I mean, at the end, his prediction, yeah, is still pretty high, but 25% is not even 50%, right? He's not even 50-50. So I mean, if you look at what his percentage is, to me, is telling me that he's still bullish. And also I'm bullish. I mean, we haven't even broke the range of the 6,400. When we start breaking the range and not getting back in, well, then I think we absolutely will know that we are breaking or have achieved the peak, and then we're going to the bear market. So far, that's fine. I mean, whenever I get stopped out of all of my positions, that's what I know.
Awesome. TradeFly, your thoughts on this, bro? Bitcoin, has it topped? I mean, this is almost in line with your prediction of Bitcoin. So from our 2025 Bitcoin prediction video. So what's your thoughts on this?
It fits the narrative a little bit. And I agree with OC, right? Percentage-wise, he said there's a 25% chance. We're on the low side of the percentages that that's the top. So I agree with what OC is saying. If you read into it, there's still a 75% chance that it's not the top. So, easy math. But Marines can do math too. Check that out.
Good job. Good job. Proud of you.
I did math for Marines as a young guy, and I am now smarter for that. All right, so there's a couple things. One, if you take this at face value and say, okay, let's just look at history repeats itself, cool. But before, we didn't have an institutional investment. All right. So that's what makes me a little bit more bullish, is that we have big money in crypto right now. There's ETFs now. We've never had this before. This is a game changer. This changes everything, right? Because this makes Bitcoin more available to more people. And, it's now, there's going to be more regulation. It's just a matter of time. So Bitcoin has been, just mass accepted. So I think that changes things a lot. And, it was pointed out in the chat too. I think it was Max H, right? He said, hey, there's a pullback and we're consolidating. You are right. We have a pullback. We're consolidating. We're in a range right now. And I'm not going to be, willing to say whether we're going up and down out of this range till I see that range broken. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. Like, are we going to break out of the top side of this range, then retest it, and then continue that move up? Or are we going to break out to the bottom, come down, clear out that liquidity at 50K, which is still within the possibility of, that could happen still. All right. That's still on the table. Do not think that can't. But that still would be bullish structure, because when you look at it, it is only just setting a higher low, even if it pulls back to 50K when you zoom out. So till, those two things are broken and we really see that flip of like a trend, I'm still cool with it. I still think we can push to the upside and hit my 88K I was looking for.
Yep. Absolutely. And so there's further information in this article. I just wanted to get to that talking point, because there was a counterpoint made by Giovanni. If you guys don't know who that is, he's the guy who does the Bitcoin power law, Plan G, he calls it. It's the power law. And there's a whole chart for this. So in a communication on X, Brandt responded to counter analysis by a fellow analyst, Giovanni, who argued that Bitcoin follows a power law over time, suggesting the potential for ongoing growth despite the observed decay. Brandt acknowledged the validity, saying quite the thorough analysis. Take a look down here. Here's the post that I'm referencing there. And then you look here at this chart and you got this green line, which is the power law. And then you've got the full model of red, and then you've got the Bitcoin price averaged over 3 months. And you can see that it's got an up and to the right projection still, despite decay. And he does account for that with the lessening of the lines here. Of the red humps, if you will, the higher lows there, they are getting shorter and shorter in there. Jumping down here, he said his analysis extends beyond the cyclical trends by illustrating how deviations from the power law at specific intervals, particularly around the halving events, provide a structured prediction model. And the analyst predicted a significant rise in Bitcoin's price, estimating the next top at the end of 2025 to be between $210,000 to $250,000. In a later post, Brandt came back and emphasized his main prediction is an ongoing bull market into September, October 2025. Pretty much agreeing with Giovanni there. He explained, I give more credence to a report I issued in February. And he said that projects that the market will go until September to October of 2025, indicating that his views are being influenced by evolving market data and theoretical models. So let's jump back over here. So there you go. Giovanni coming back, countering that. And at the end of the day, Brandt agreeing that that's pretty thorough and he doesn't necessarily disagree, saying that 25% chance the market top may be in, but it looks like he's leaning that 75% chance to give a little more valuation to late 2025, hitting to over $200,000 Bitcoin. So there you go. A little back and forth between some big brains and Bitcoin there. But I did find it interesting that this article focused on 25% likelihood. If you told me that I could go to Vegas and I have a 75% chance of winning more money, I'm going to go to Vegas and gamble like a madman. So the bottom line is take advantage of these pullbacks, these dips, and however long it lasts, which I'm pretty sure I think 56K is going to get hit. I will be looking to buy the dip in that time period for that 75% chance, ignoring that 25%. You guys got any closeout comments on that article there?
Nah, not here. That pretty much aligns with what we were saying. We're like, where's that 75%? we're waiting for that part. So there it is.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's go ahead and jump over to your charts trade fly, see what you got, what you're looking at. Guys, let us know in the chat what you'd like to see. We're going to get to that article here in a minute, here in a little while, for that Forbes 20 dead zombie blockchains. I guess that would be undead zombie blockchains. But anyway, we're going to be taking a look at that article and discuss that. But let's go ahead and get into some charts right now. Tradefly, what you got for us?
Okay, yeah, I still got Bitcoin up. I'm going to break this down just a little bit further, and I'll be pretty quick about it. So you did point out the point of control, which there was a perfect rejection off of that. And I just want to let you know, hey, jump over to the Discord, because sometimes we drop some nuggets in there. And I did drop a little bit of TA yesterday. Just didn't have much going on. I was weather delayed for a flight, so I was like, hey, let's drop some info in here. And that was on the top side of this volume area low. All right, I saw we were retesting it multiple times. Overall, the trend was down and right. Why was my bias down though? Because we had all of the moving averages to the top, and it looks like we're starting to form a trend of kind of some down and right action. We're actually in a falling channel. It's not printed right here, but let me do it for you kind of live here. All right, boom. And I got that on there again. Cool. So got a little channel that's going down and right the way I see it. So until we break out of that, it's going to be hard for me to say that there's going to be a reversal in price action. All right. So, and that kind of aligns with the moving averages that are right here as well. So be kind of wary of that. Be on the alert. I think we're going to find a little bit of resistance, which is kind of providing that pressure kind of down and right. However, this is going to be my line in the sand. I just want to point that out to you. At about 60,100, maybe a little bit lower. It could go down to about 59.2 or so. Just based on this wick right here. But that's kind of my zone to really be on high alert. But also, once we do get down there, I want you to go over to the daily and then start looking at where the prime oscillator or RSI is sitting, right? Because look what's starting to creep up here, right? We're starting to get the 100-day SMA, and then we have the prime oscillator starting to creep up as well. And we all know how good that's been at providing us support. So that's just an area I want you guys to keep an eye on. Again, somewhere around 60,100 or so, down to about 59.2. I think we could find some support in that area, and a likely area to see some sort of price action off of that.
Awesome. OC, you got anything to show the people?
Absolutely. Just take a look at NOS, what we left out yesterday, and then also had Velo, and then we have line up NOS, but I'll take just NOS up in the next round. So basically just predicted or just reacted as exactly as predicted, or as expected, even that we were expecting a possible double top by just going below this little ranging here, up ranging. So breakout is not about the breakout, it's about the retest. We're in this area of retest that was not only the previous high, but also we had an order blocking here, so perfectly lining up to the order block and then just wicking right to that trend line. So beautiful reaction going back to the soft order blocks, which used to be a loud order block. So bounce, bounce, bounce. So still looking good so far, guys. We're still bullish. That is a good option. Why? Because we haven't broke the double top pattern, right? So we are not yet in a double top. Seems like it, but we don't have confirmation. Confirmation will be breaking this trend line here, this neckline down here. So far, we are ranging on an prime 8 and also a consolidation of 6. And also something that is really interesting that I wasn't expecting that much. Look at where my oscillator prediction was, either going down for a total takeover of the green zone, or bouncing back up and making a couple of divergences. Neither of those played out. The action price did, but the behavior of the Rweave did not. So this is neither good or bad. This is just telling me that we are oscillating in here. But something interesting, it is that we are remaining, or we're still within this green cloud of the oscillator, which gives me a little bit more of that bullish momentum that I'm looking for. So far, I do expect a further move maybe into the loud order blocking here, and I'll be looking for this range to play it out. So in zones for entry at the top for shorts, at the bottom for longs. This is not financial advice, just use a stop loss. Other than that, turning it back to you guys.
Awesome. I'm going to jump over here and take a look at Caspa, and then we had a request for Litecoin. If one of you guys can grab that, and then we'll get into that article. Taking a look at Caspa here, guys, we're continuing to make lower lows and lower highs. We did get another lower low here over the weekend. Came up to just grab liquidity past this previous cluster here before coming back down. Right now, we have not made a lower low yet, but we are breaking below that 11.2. This has been key resistance and key support for throughout the history of Caspa here. I am watching for us to come back down to this blue trend line here and just show you guys what this is. I'm going to put this on the daily chart, and we're going to go back and take a look at what that line is. Going all the way back, this line was a strong support line going all the way back to the date of June of last year. So this line has been a trend line for almost 1 year. This is where I decided to buy in at 4.5 cents when we bounced on this line. I'm going to be watching very closely to see what happens when we get down there. I do have a green T box down there for a buy area, just in case it wicks into that point. That will be where I will pick up some more Caspa. Still way in profit because I bought it at 4.5 cents. And a lot of our community did too. So shout out to those that picked that up at that 4.5 cent call, but be watching for that. Right now, if I look at this on the daily, look at the time period that it takes to get down there, we'd be looking somewhere around 8.8 cents on Caspa. Well, let's go take a look and see what we're seeing here on the oscillators. It does look like on the daily oscillator that we're starting to get a little curvature here, and we are starting to get flattening of the RSI prime, both of those indicating that we could see a little upside movement. But when we put this over to the 4-hour and take a look, we do have that flip of the ribbon indicating downside movement there on that, and we're still getting big candles. So in the local time frame, I do think we're going to see that downside move. On the higher time frame, we could be getting little bounces. And again, look, that downside movement on the 4-hour could be somewhere in the range here of about 10 cents. That flip of the ribbon on the daily takes place. We come up, reject, and come back down again, doing another lower low and another lower high before we get down to that level. But I'm going to be watching that level quite closely. We do have a convergence here of this upper trend line here, downward trend line, and then this upward trend line, all converging right there in that range. Again, that's going to be somewhere in the range of about 8.5 cents. So sadly, that's what I'm seeing on Caspa right now. Let's jump over. Who's got Litecoin?
I got Litecoin up.
You got it. All right, here we go.
Right on. All right, so looking at Litecoin on the 4-hour. So I got a fixed range volume profile up, just looking at that. And so apparently we've done Litecoin recently because I was looking at the volume area low for support. That looks like it played out pretty well. Came up to the point of control, and now it's struggling with that, as well as the dynamic reactor. And there's moving averages just kind of crisscrossing there, the 20, and it looks like the 100 is in there, actually, not the 20, the 50 and the 100. Are crossing right now, and then the 20s on the top side of price action. So, there's a lot of junk here in the middle. So that gives me a little bit of pause in terms of if I were looking to go long from this position right now. You guys know how I feel about that. I like to let it clear out, get away from the moving averages or on the top side, and look for some kind of clear support and resistance. So right now, I would say the bias is for it to act as resistance because everything is kind of on the top side of it right now. I wouldn't be surprised when you come down to the prime oscillator. It looks like it's trending down a little bit, even though it's giving you some indications of some potential bullish divergence. Or is it? Take that back. Is that bearish?
That's bearish. It's a multi-bearish divergence.
Yeah,
yep.
Hidden. Yeah, there it is. So hidden bearish divergence. So that actually fits the narrative a little bit better. So I would say my bias for Litecoin right now is actually probably down to revisit this area where the volume area low is. So key area for you to look for about 76, somewhere around there, maybe a little bit higher, 77, just based on looking at where we saw some support, because we had a nice little bounce off of that area as well as resistance. So 77 to 76, I think we could definitely revisit that area. And then we come down to prophecy. It's saying market dumpsies. And then the prime score is a 1, consolidation of the 3. So none of that is really promising. if by chance the rest of the crypto market starts to move up and right, then we start looking at the high side. And I think once it breaks through a lot of these moving averages, it probably won't be too tough a move for it to at least visit somewhere in the range of about, it might move that down where this moving average. This is a 200 SMA for the 4 hour. So probably about 91. You're probably going to look for an area of resistance there initially. So you may see something, if it breaks through, something like that, get a little rejection, and then up to the volume area high, where ultimately that's going to be your high side target. But we need to get on the top side of the point of control. So that's really the key part of the situation. So again, just to reiterate, my bias is to the downside, unfortunately. But this is the area that we'll look for at about 77 to 76 for Litecoin.
Yeah, if we go down there, we get a nice support bounce on that value area low. We should at least return back to the point of control there.
Yeah,
so
it might be a nice little quick, maybe like intraday type trade.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Something to look for.
Yep, something to look for sure. Shout out to Andy Lee talking about Alexander G in the chat. He said, you are an amazing bot. I agree, man. Let me go ahead and just bring in here. Let me bring it in there. There we go. There's a little Alexandra G love for you right there. So shout out to Alexandra G. She is the mod queen here on the show. Let's jump into this article now, guys, and let's talk about this Forbes article and take a look at the list. I put some of them, little teasers there on the rain on the thumbnail, but there's a lot of in this list, and I will tell you, two of them that we just looked at on this list, you probably saw that on the thumbnail. Forbes lists 20 zombie tokens with a market value of more than $1 billion. I'm going to go ahead and put this out, and as I'm reading through this, you guys can decide and tell me what you think, but I personally read this. I agree 100% with what Crux of Crypto said. He said, this article has to have been done by a Bitcoin maxi who's jealous that $1 billion is not sitting in Bitcoin right now. Let's take a look at what this article says here. The post Forbes list 20 zombie tokens with a market value more than $1 billion appeared first on Coinpedia FinTech News. Forbes listed these 20 coins, calling them good-for-nothing blockchains. They are unproven and have little utility other than speculative crypto trading. I'm just going to go over here and we'll take a look at what this list says. Good-for-nothing blockchains, according to Forbes. They command a total market of more than $100 billion, despite the fact that they are unproven. Most of the treasury is brimming with millions, but they answer to neither shareholders nor regulators. Yes, welcome to crypto. XRP, number one on the list here, guys. Cardano, we got ADA here. We got Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, ICP, Ethereum Classic, Stellar Lumens, XLM, Stacks, one of my favorite tokens, Caspa, one of my other favorite tokens, Theta, Phantom, Monero, XMR, and I'm going to come back and touch on that one. Rweave, another one of my favorite cryptos, Algorand, Flow, eGold, BSV, Bitcoin Satoshi version, Mina, Tezos, XTZ, and then also at the end, EOS. I just want to touch Monero, saying that Monero has an unproven and no utility. That's the number one largest privacy token in the world. I think it absolutely has a utility. Its utility is privacy. So this is the list that they put out. Let's jump back over, see what that article breaks down here. Crypto zombies on the rise. Forbes' comprehensive report highlighted 20 zombie blockchains within the cryptocurrency market, included Ethereum Classic, XRP. Despite their high market values, these cryptocurrencies demonstrate minimal real-world utility and user adoption. To everyone's shock, Forbes labeled Ripple Labs, the firm behind XRP, as a significant crypto zombie, despite XRP's daily trading volume of approximately $2 billion. Notably, Forbes has reported that 50 blockchains, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, are valued at over $1 billion each, with at least 20 termed as those functional zombies. These 20 blockchains with limited user base hold a collective market value of $116 billion total. So let's jump over here and let's talk about this, because I read this article and I see one thing: FUD, massive FUD. Two, this is a green envy Bitcoin maximalist that is just jealous of altcoin performance, and that's my opinion. Just one humble opinion of one man, but I'd love to hear your input on this, TradeFly. What do you think of this list? Do you agree with him on any of these? I agree with him on a couple, but what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few of them on there that you could argue are, zombie projects, whatever. They don't provide any utility. There's definitely an argument there. And to be honest, like I would love for them to start getting rid of some of those projects on exchanges, the ones that are not providing any kind of utility, that are, not really helping, really provide a utility. Like if you can't use it to do anything, like I wouldn't mind if they just dump those things off of exchanges, to be personally frank with you. There's just too much going on. I think it's overwhelming for a lot of people. And, when you get into these like smaller caps or ones, well, even mid cap, really, if it just, I think it can really hurt people. So I don't mind seeing, some of this, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there that's listed that I think does provide utility. So it's tough, but I'll tell you what's not on there. Matic and AVAX. So, two of the ones that I like, they must be providing utility. Just saying.
Oh, see, your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm still in line with what TrioCam is mentioning, although I do have a little bit of a not counter argument, but something interesting that I do agree with you, but also kind of like will hurt my feelings, because if we're talking about just getting rid of things that are not having use, well, we're gonna be seeing Pepe going away. We're gonna be seeing Shiva going away. We're gonna be seeing many of those coins
I'm
going
okay with
away,
that.
right? Which
Yeah.
is, I mean, of course, I am also are, but where am I gonna be going to a casino? Right? I mean, I'm not that guy that goes out in public and start pushing, coins into machines. So that is kind of like my way to have a little bit fun and waste a little bit of money, right? So still provides that. I mean, just to follow in line and make sure that I do push the right idea, it is that the value they provide, it's the casino or the fun on the scratch ticket thing, but also they're regular people, right? They're regular people,
Yeah.
and seeing them going away, it is not bad for the overall market or chain. But yeah, other than that, completely in line with TradingFly.
Yeah, I do find it interesting that there's no meme coins on there. Like, you want to talk about high valuation, market cap valuation, and minimal utility. Where's all the meme coins at, bro? Where's all the meme coins? I just saying. All right, TradeFly, you got anything else before I jump into the next topic here?
Nah, let's do
Nah,
it.
man. Nah, we're good. Yeah, that guy's a Bitcoin maximalist, man. Taking a look here, guys. We've got a Tesla stock surging 11% this morning after Chinese authorities removed restrictions on its car after passing data security requirements. Look at that massive gap up there on the hourly, just absolutely moonshotting there. We're going to jump in and let's take a look at that chart. Let me jump over here to charts. Let's drop that down and let's take a look at Tesla today. I want to see how it's looking now, but that was this morning before the market opened. But Tesla getting a nice big push off of that. And then, guys, go ahead and start pulling up TradeFly and OC, what you guys want to go over next in the charts. We're going to get into some TA for this last 15 minutes and then wrap out the show with a little bit of Hopium news. I try to bring you guys a little bit of Hopium every day. I got Hopium.
Oh, I
found
have
some.
in line. Perfect. I have in line one of the most useful tokens on this upcoming cycle, ETC.
Nice. Let's jump in here and take a look here at Tesla, guys. You can see here, we were getting this breakdown of the golden pocket last week. During their earnings, we were down here. I said, this might be a good area to look at starting your DCA. Eric Wallen said, nah, fam, I'm all in at this level. And shout out to Eric Wallen, because you have absolutely made a killing off of this. We'll just go off the 786 to now. That is a 30% move there on a stock. So shout out to Eric Wallen for that call. My start to buy in point of the platinum pocket here, still good, but I still would have been sitting on quite a bit of my money. I am still sitting on quite a bit of my money. missing out on this full move. Just today alone, we did have a little bit of a push up there to a higher level. It hit about 10%, but right now still up about 7.7% for the day. Tesla getting a move off of that news. You can see there 11.7% over there on the side of the chart right there. So getting a lot of action off of this because that opens up the Chinese market to more Tesla sales, which means that their future earnings reports will probably be up, meaning that because they have that whole new market to sell to over there. So that's what we're seeing on Tesla. You can see here in the oscillator, did get that ribbon flip pushing up there for higher levels, but we are sitting a little high. So be careful, control the FOMO right now, guys. I don't want anyone to get wrecked on trying to buy up here. It's going to probably come back because we did a test here on this golden pocket. And you can see the levels back here that this has respected. I would say that we will come back and retest $177 there. There might be another opportunity if you missed out on this Eric Wallen call. That's what I have there. Let's jump over to TradeFly and actually jump over to OC Guy and let's start running through this.
Perfect. So I just saw somebody just selling ETC, and just for actually pure casualty, I just had it on. In pure chance, I just had it in here. Why? Because I was looking at the halving event. So a couple of things to point out. By the way, guys, if you want to get this thing, just type on Google Bitcoin halving event and open the one by Nice Guys. It's going to take you somewhere around here. You just scroll down and you see upcoming halving events, and you'll have everything that is going to be a halving up next. So what do we have? EDC, Ethereum Classic, having 31 May. So yeah, upcoming halving event by the rumor sell the news, not financial advice. But also, I mean, guys, one of the dead change that I do believe that until Ethereum, ETH go to its room and start recapacitating from going out of the proof of stake and going back to proof of work, Ethereum Classic is not coming back anytime soon. All right. Other than that, we can still do money on Ethereum Classic, and it is going to be just like any other old coins like Litecoin, like Monero, like the other ones that we see on the list that haven't been so active, but they're still there. All right. So we have right here a trend line that we have from a very long time going through. So we have a breakout through the trend line. And the important thing is that we are not just dumping right away, right? So we are hovering across the trend line and making this space. Remember that that ranging also means retracement, right? Or also means pullback. So we're saying that we have a breakout through the zero line. And another important thing is that it seems to me that somewhere soon we could be making a flip of the ribbon. It is not confirmed yet. And also I was expecting a bounce at this area, and off I go. Not that high, though. This huge thing just was a joke, right? But still, I was expecting a bounce. Nonetheless, we're still following this parabola line here, and we are back on a soft support. So looking points for entry for longs as soon as we have flip of the ribbon at support. So where am I support? Basically right there. So if we don't have a follow-up candle, bounce candle within the next 8 hours, more likely we're going to be breaking this range and going lower. How low? You'll say it. Well, our discount zone, it is at 22.62. So just be careful in here. Other than that, seems like we are on the big support area so far. All right. Another area for a possible entry is just at the bottom of the range, which is somewhere around 24.47. So nothing major, guys. Also, do not go all in. This is not financial advice. Just stop loss and keep track on the halving event that Ethereum Classic could have. So other than that, turning it back to you guys.
Awesome. TreyFly, you're up, bro.
Yeah, buddy. So, Arbitron, that's been a little topic of discussion on our Discord recently. So I figured I'd take a look at it. I do have the chemtrails up, got the dynamic support and resistance zones up here for you. And you can see there's a lot of volume associated with this support level right here. And that makes sense. You go back left, you look on the chart, you can see support and resistance very clearly right here. And you can see support and resistance very clearly in this area right here. So, you know, there's a lot of transactions happening in that area, which is building up, and you're starting to see this light blue. So this is a prime area to keep an eye on at $1 and we'll say 4 cents there's going to be a little bit of a range there, but keep an eye on this area. This is a biggie because if it breaks down, we're going to move down pretty quick to the area, I'd say at about 88 cents. And then this is like your poo area at about 76 cents, which aligns with what I'm seeing. So not looking great though. If you're looking at the structure right now, it's an obvious pattern that's going down and right. So we're retesting this area, very key level to look at. And I am not feeling super comfy about it, to be honest with you. But hopefully it holds up. If it does push up though, where are we looking for resistance? You can see another high volume area at about, we'll call it $1.27. Just come back left on the charts. Let's see what we got here. You see you got support, resistance, and then a little bit of resistance, and we'll call it support and resistance in that area as well. So there's a few key areas for you to look at on Arbitrum, but I mean, this is one of those ones that I wouldn't even say when you zoom out, the structure is bullish kind of from a zoomed out perspective. I don't like the way this one looks, honestly. It's pulled back a lot harder than a lot of the other altcoins that I've been looking at recently. I'd say most of the other altcoins are sitting somewhere in this area right here. Arbitron is kind of pulled all the way back. I bet if I do a fib retracement just from bottom to the top, let's see what that looks like. Yeah.
Platinum pocket, baby.
Yeah, it is in the platinum pocket. That's a Piper thing. He does love that area. So
yep.
Hopefully that holds up. But overall, this is not looking too bullish. And we're at a key area right now. So there you go.
Sweet. I got Rweave pulled up for you guys. We're going to be taking a look at Rweave. There might be some key areas here that we could get into some trades. One that I'm going to point out is going to be a short setup. The other one is going to be a long setup, not financial advice, but let's jump in here and see what we're seeing here. Right now, we are at the value area high of this entire period, running back here from March of this year, March 8th to current. And in this area right now, we are getting our rejection, lots of it here on the value area high. As I always tell you guys, when we lose the value area high, we do typically return to the point of control. That point of control right now currently coming in at about $24.99. We'll call it $25 so that we can have that psychological number in play. But what I'm going to be watching here is this. Let's turn off the fibs because I want to hide that for 1 second so I can show you what I'm watching for here. We do have on the oscillators a downward trending oscillator here, and big, huge candlesticks coming down, showing continuation on the relative strength index using Heikin-Ashi candles instead of a line. This is absolutely free indicator, by the way. Just type in RSI primed, and you'll see it from Chart Prime. It's free. You put it onto Heikin-Ashi candles, and looks like we got the top here before we started to pull down. I do think that we might see another test here, and if we do see another test and we get a rejection on this value area high at $35.62 in that ballpark, and we get that rejection there, I do think we're going to return back down to that $25 mark on the point of control. Here's why I'm saying that. If we, oh, nope, not that one. We're going to go to daily. We're going to go to daily here, and we're going to turn back on the fibs and take a look at this. So I do think on the daily that we do have upside coming here. You can see that this is still indicating on the daily more upside. What I would be watching for here is this, that we come up on that daily, we reject again right here with this 236 and this value area high. We get that rejection to the downside. We return to the point of control, and look at what's coming in right here with it, guys. That is the daily dynamic reactor from the Market Oracle Pro. If we get that confluence there, that point of control, along with that dynamic reactor, I think that's going to be a key area for us to get into a long trade. So short trade entry is going to be sitting between $37.5 and $38. We'll call it $37.75 in that range there for a short. Down to, and you can do take profit on the 382 at $32.34. Another take profit at $27.64. Of course, moving your stop loss down as you go. And then when you get to this dynamic reactor on the point of control at $25, You can close it out, take your profit, turn it into a long, set your stop loss down in the golden pocket and call it a day. Not financial advice. That's the trade setup for Rweave that I see for the week. Let's jump over to TrioCam. We got about 6 minutes. Do you guys have an asset you want to go over real fast?
Up to you. I mean, I have Avalanche up. Nothing too
All right.
crazy on that.
OC's got XRP. Do a quick on XRP, and then we'll do a quick Avalanche because I love my AVAX. Let's do that.
Absolutely. Let me go first. Something important, guys. This is Prepper Academy, and let me show you something that is wrong on this chart, on this analysis. This is something that usually happens to many traders who are doing or starting with TA, which is this pivot pointing here. So this trend line seems to be very nice, right? But let me show you something that we don't have a confirmed bounce to the down or to the upside. Why? Because this very much could be something like that when we roll back down, right? So what if we keep rolling back down and then we move? That would have mean that my trend line will need to go somewhere around here and not around here. So do not get fooled by this kind of movements. And the important part in here, it is that we are almost at a breaking point because we have an oversold reversal right down here. Yes, we're still pretty bearish, and that's what I'm saying. And this is not confirmed yet. So what is the confirmation? As we break through, for the breakthrough, I would like to go all the way back down here to the bottom of the channel where I have most of my support and resistance. Here we go. Dashed lines, liquidity area, and also another resistance there, right? That tells me that this is a big resistance area. And then going back down for a retest at the top of the dynamic reactor, and then a continuation. So my confirmation will be all the way up here as we go back down, right? So we are almost at the end of this triangular pattern. So if we break to the upside, this is going to be my setup. Nonetheless, we're still bearish on XRP, and a possible continuation to the downside, it could be imminent depending on what Bitcoin does. So just be warned and also be careful on that area. Just for perspective, my discount zone is all the way down here at 41.59. So that is still a real possibility. Turning back to you guys.
Awesome. TradeFly, you up, bro?
Cool. I'll keep it super short on AVAX. So we got the point of control extended that line out here. It is acting as resistance in confluence with a 0.5 and a dynamic reactor. And then the weird thing is we're really getting crunched in with the 200 SMA here. And this is on the daily, just so you know. But the area that I'm really looking at is it's kind of a range, but you got the volume area low, you have the golden pocket. And then when I turn the dynamic support and resistance on, you can also see there's a lot of confluence here that should provide some support in this area. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a range here, but I would say we could get some potential movement to the upside off of this area. So a lot of things are pointing at pulling back, right? I think we'll pull back a little bit. We'll probably find somewhere in this area between the volume area low and the golden pocket. So somewhere between 31 and probably about 28 is what I'd be looking for some price action for a bounce, honestly. So there you go. Super quick, just looking at it, just want to point out the support here. But I'd be looking for maybe something. All my stuff is actually gone, so I'm not going to be able to draw it out for you. But there's kind of some numbers for you to look at. 31 to probably about as far down as 28. We'll probably be looking for a bounce there in that area. So set your alerts and be ready. Remember to come down and reference the prime oscillator RSI. Make sure we're looking for an uptrend there as well. So there you go.
Fantastic. Shout out to Alex O. Crypto in the chat right now. So always good to see you. Gang.
Twinsy.
Yes, your twinsies in the house. All right, guys, here's your hopium for the day. Tomorrow, April 30th, Hong Kong's ETFs will launch, okay? Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs will be launching there in Hong Kong tomorrow. So we're about, and if we calculate in the time, we're about 18 hours away from this going live, okay? Before the launch of the spot cryptocurrency ETFs in Hong Kong, the city ETF markets account for about 6% of the entire US ETF market. So it's not a lot, but dollar-wise, it's a good amount of money. So let's take a look here and see what we could be getting this week for a little bit of boost to hit some of those rejection levels we talked about today on the TA. The cryptocurrency community is eagerly awaiting a significant industry event happening tomorrow. Hong Kong is poised to launch trading for spot exchange ETFs tied to Bitcoin, and Ethereum. 3 Chinese firms, the China Asset Management, Basera Asset Management, and Harvest Global Investments, are all 3 expected to launch crypto ETFs for their Hong Kong subsidiaries on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange on April 30th there. HKEX already trades Bitcoin futures and other crypto contracts, so they've already got some people that may jump over into their spot side of this. But overall, if we take a look down here, it only accounts for about 0.6% of the U.S. ETF market, as I said. But that is worth, by the end of March 2024, the entire ETF industry in the United States had 3,457, worth about $8.9 trillion. If we go ahead and break that down, it's going to be several billion dollars that's going to have access to this. According to the Hong Kong's ETF market, it's about $50 billion of money that could be flowing in on Bitcoin and Ethereum off of this. So I just wanted to drop that in there. That's starting tomorrow. We could see a little volatility and see little pumps here taking place before Wednesday's economic data, which is going to be Jerome Powell with the Fed rates, and see what happens with that. TradeFly OC, it is the bottom of the hour. You got anything for the people before we head out of here?
Hey, as always, it's great mixing up with you guys. I hope everyone has. Hey, as always, it's great mixing up with you guys. I hope everyone. Hey, as always, it's great mixing up with you guys. I hope everyone.
I think we locked out here, guys. I guess that's the end of the show. But hey, if you guys can hear me, we'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure what's going on with my internet. We will try to get this fixed.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after the wheels fall off. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Tar Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall off. Sound off. To get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude!